And welcome back to The Factor Uncensored, and I think this is our most important issue of tonight. Food insecurity is a big problem across the country, especially here in Texas. According to a 2022 report from the USDA, Texas has the second highest number of food insecurity cases. About 4.6 million people in the state are in this position. Almost 1 in 6 households are reportedly at risk of not being able to put food on the damn table. Is this our America, we ask you? Joining us now to talk about it, Houston City Council member Dr. Carolyn Evans-Shabazz and Bread of Life's Chief Advancement Officer, Dr. Monique Williams. Glad to have you here on The Factor Uncensored. In its simplest terms, what is food insecurity?
Food insecurity is defined as inadequate access to nutritious and culturally relevant foods.
And Dr. Williams, what are you guys seeing on the ground when it comes to families here in Houston at the Bread of Life?
Yes.
You are a lifeline to many people out there who may not be able to afford the adequate amount of groceries for their family.
Absolutely. We are seeing increased numbers. I think people assume that it just kind of goes away over time, but our numbers are increasing. We do multiple distributions a month, and each time we see more cars, more modern vehicles. We see those who are walking up to our location, those who need access through MetroLift. The numbers continue to mount the further along we get into the year. I mean, of course, holiday season, we expect those numbers to double because the need is there.
And when many people think about food insecurity or not having enough food for the family, they think about that single family structure, but it's not just that.
It is not just that. You're absolutely right. Consider this. You have a line of 500 vehicles, and each vehicle you have an average of 4 families per vehicle. The average family has about four people per vehicle, and that's just an average, right? So just the single family structure is not it. It's beyond that, and we're finding if we really give space for it, you can get 8, 9, 10 families per vehicle that are in need, that increase. I mean, as the events, as the opportunities are available in the city of Houston.
Dr. Shabazz, your ear is to the ground as a Houston City Council member. You represent a lot of the 3rd Ward. What are you seeing out there when it comes to food insecurity?
You know, actually, I was out there, especially during the pandemic, when people were really challenged, but it has not stopped. You're still having to supply these things to families. And so what I have done, what my challenge is, I am trying to get a satellite food bank in District D, because of course people are challenged with getting all the way out there, and the food bank has just been tremendous for the city. And so we've identified a building, and we're getting partners because we want people to be able to come in and get nutritious food without having to pay for it, these prices that they cannot afford.
And it's incredible what a food bank can do with a few dollars.
Absolutely. You need to, if you have an opportunity, to make a donation to the food bank, because as I said, they've done a tremendous thing. And another thing that I have done, I have partnered to have the RIDE program, which is a program for, it's like a Uber, and people are able, right now it's a pilot in the 3rd Ward, where people can actually download what they call the Circuit app, and they can be picked up at their door, and they can be taken to the HEB so that they can pass up some of these places where the food is just phenomenal in cost.
And one of the things you said was a nutritious meal. And in many communities, not only do they have food insecurity, they have food deserts.
Yes.
Not enough grocery stores with that nutritious meal that you have mentioned. Now, I think in 3rd Ward, we recently had a HEB built there. We had Pie Burns come in there.
Right.
Are we seeing enough of established grocery stores where families can shop for nutritious fruits and vegetables as well?
Well, unfortunately, you know, with the crime going on, it's very hard to attract, you know, these larger food chains. Now, there are some grocery places that they can perhaps go, but they're not the best in terms of the fresh food or the cost, which is phenomenal, which is why I thought it was important to provide the RIDE program so that people can get to HEB, as well as if I can get this food bank off the ground, the satellite, I think that would be tremendous. It would also offer jobs for people in the community. And I also would like to have a health component in that building as well, because everybody doesn't have health coverage. So it's a great thing that I'm trying to do in the next year. And so that's one of the things that I have had conversations with HUD. We already have the established relationship with the food bank, and they are very willing to come out and to be able to supply this store, so to speak, where people can come in. Of course, you would have a limit in terms of what you could get, but you could actually get your chicken, get your fish, and you can get these things with integrity. Walk in and be able to choose those things, because as you know, when we have these food drives, people get a lot of things, but sometimes they're things that they don't necessarily want or need.
And in the last 30 seconds, for those who would like to help out the Bread of Life, what can they do?
Yes, well, I want to say, as Dr. Shabazz mentioned, there are other factors that kind of lead people into a food insecure future, and so we want to prevent that in our work by providing things like health support and education and employment. So if you go to breadoflifeinc.org, you can find out about that, and also on our IG, Bread of Life HTX, and we provide all of these things through distributions, radio station, education, and through care coordination.
All right, 10 seconds.
I'm going to say this. We just talked about vouchers for children. Well, it's very important that they get nutritious meals so that their minds can work and function, and they can grow and have their strength. And so it's very important that we're able to provide these things.
All right, we want to thank you both for joining us.